What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Demoniacal fit Counterattacking K, which is basically the Dragon Ball Super version of Goku from the Resurrection F / Universe 6 arc, and a lot of people fell in love with this gi, myself included. This is one that SH Figuarts gave us on the 1.0 body. We never got a 2.0, and then Kong Studios actually released one as well, which was on a 2.0 body, and it was a great figure. But this one right here, I gotta say, man, this one is definitely amazing. And for those of you who don't know, this is a sample. This is not the authentic product. I believe that release will be coming out next month, so be on the lookout for that. I did get it from Omnime Store, and if you're looking at getting your own, I will leave the link in the description below. But big shout out to them for this. Not to waste any more time, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure itself. Now also, since this is a review sample, I don't have a box this time around, so there will be no sexy packaging, meaning that we will get right into the figure. And I gotta say, just messing around with this thing like I was posing this around for a couple of days before I actually got to the review. This thing feels nice. Like, honestly, I love this thing. I really love this hair sculpt as well. I feel like it's a bit of a modification to the actual release, and I will show those side by side. You can, well, his head's turned. I don't know why that happened. You can see the similarities between the two of them, but they added this extra bang. And then I believe this piece right here is where the new sculpt comes in. And let's see, I'm going to take it apart so I can show you guys. I actually haven't looked at this myself, so you guys will be seeing this with me for the first time. Let's see. See, those kind of look similar a little bit. This guy will not look forward at all, well, because his face is coming off. But yeah, this one's gonna be all over the place. I'm just kind of having fun with this review. But as you guys can see, these pieces right here are completely different. And when it comes to the bangs on Goku, that normally is what makes a difference, because his bangs are drawn in so many different type of ways anyway, which is why I'm not going to say either of these is accurate. It just really goes down to preference. That's all it is. And so if you prefer one over the other, then, I mean, that's your personal preference. It makes sense. Now, the blue on the authentic Tamashii Nations release for the hair is a little bit darker. Once again, I'm not going to say either blue is more accurate, simply because it really depends on who's drawing Dragon Ball Super at the time. They both are accurate. I've seen the hair this color, I've seen the hair this color, and so I'm not going to pick one over the other in terms of accuracy. Now, if you're asking me which one I like more, I'm going to go with this one, because for one, I like this hair sculpt better, but I also like this color blue over this one. This one just is like this dark blue, which, I mean, it's fine, but I just like this one better. I can't explain it. Anyway, moving on to the figure. We do have the gi, of course. They got the sculpted chest in there, which doesn't look too bad. For the most part, all of the paint on this guy matches. I know sometimes when you mold this chest piece and then you try to paint it the same color as the face, there will be different types of skin tone coloring, but this is done very well. There's a little bit of shading in this as well, which I like. There's like some black wash right there, right around the knees of the pants, and so I'm a sucker for shading. A little bit right here too. Shading can make or break a figure sometimes. You got a little bit right in there. It's very subtle, but it is there. But anyway, moving on down to the boots. Boots look just as good, man. And they did a great job with these as well. They don't get as much ankle rocker as I want, but for the most part, these boots are done very, very well. So this figure, man, in terms of how it looks, it came out great. It honestly came out superb. This is actually impressive to me for Demoniacal fit, and it just goes to show that they're really, really, really upping their quality. And so I can't wait to see where they're at maybe 2-3 years from now if they're still doing it. Moving on to height, because I did already ramble enough. To the top of his forehead, Goku is about 5.5 inches to the top of his hair. He's about 6.5. So once again, that hair sculpt is basically an inch tall, which it makes sense because that's how Goku's hair looks when he is Super Saiyan / Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan Blue, you name it. Now, in terms of his articulation, he only looks up about that much, and that's where the hair is touching the back of the neck, so you're not really going to get him looking up too much. He does look down well enough, not completely, but it is effective, so I'm not going to complain. He does, of course, get tilt and turn, so you can get to be a little bit more expressive with him. Just be careful because this peg is really small. It's not as fragile as the older ones, but it is very tiny, meaning that if you move the head too much, it could pop off as well, and you definitely don't want to break that joint. But once again, it is a little bit more sturdy than usual. And as far as the arms go, we're used to this. The shoulders are a separate piece and they are attached to the back of the bicep. You can get them to go out about that much, maneuvering it. And if you want to move it out of the way completely to get his arms to go up, you can do that. It will look a little weird depending on the angle, but it is there. He does have a butterfly joint, and this is something I always mention when it comes to these figures. I really wish they would just go ahead and paint this orange. Therefore, it'll look like it's blending into the clothing a bit. I don't know. Tamashii Nations won't do that either, but I really wish these companies would do that. Anyway, as far as the bicep goes, he does have a bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows. His hands are on a hinge, which this thing feels great. It doesn't feel fragile like the older ones. It pops right on, pops right off, and I don't feel like I'm going to break this at all. It can move around just fine. As far as, let me move that out of the way, the torso, you can move him around very well. He leans back about that much. You will see a gap. He does lean forward about that much, and he does get tilt. So at the waist, he does crunch forward a little bit more, but then you will get that gap in the back. Be careful of that. He does have waist swivel built in. It's a little squeaky. I might add some oil, but once again, remember, this is just a sample. This right here is not on a ball peg, it's more of a hinge. You can swivel it around, but I don't recommend pulling this off because I tried to pull this off and swap it with another one and I couldn't do it. So don't pull this off because it is a pain to put back on, just a heads up. As far as the legs go, they are on the updated mechanism, so he kicks out about that much, so you can get him doing the splits well enough. He does have a built-in thigh swivel, kicks forward very well. He can kick back, but just remember this piece is going to hinder it a little bit. Actually, not so much. That's actually pretty good. So, yeah, he can kick forward and back. You do have this right here at the knee. I don't know what this piece is called, but he does have double jointed knees. As far as the foot goes, it doesn't go down very much, only about that length. Let's see. I'm trying to push it a little further. Now, that's about as much as the foot's going to go down. Not up very much. He does get a little bit of ankle rocker, still lacking, but even Tamashii Nations lacks on this. And then he does have a toe hinge as well. So articulation wise, he does great. It's the same thing that we get with most Goku figures. It's nothing new, but everything is effective. Nothing feels fragile. So in terms of quality control, I give Demoniacal Fit a pass on this one. Now when it comes to the accessories, you don't get a whole lot, but you definitely get everything that's necessary and a little bit more. He comes with the default smirk out of the package, or at least that's how he was when I pulled him out of the box. You do get a yelling, powering up Kamehameha face, which looks really good. I think these are all the same ones that we got with the Super Saiyan Blue 2.0 release from Tamashii Nations, so you kind of know what to expect. You do get this angry face where he's just like, all right, it's time to go to battle, serious Goku, and then you do get a teeth gritted face as well. As far as the hands go, you do get his signature martial arts hands, which pretty much every Dragon Ball fighter makes these. You do get a pair of Kamehameha hands, and then you do get a pair of blast hands. So you get a ton of hands. Also, I almost forgot this one. You do get an instant transmission hand as well. So definitely a good array of hands. I wish he could get the grabbing hands that came with the Super Warrior Awakening. I think that's the only Goku that ever came with those. But yeah, it would be cool if they recycled those. But also, you do get a Kamehameha effect. As you guys know, this is the same one that we got with the very first release normal Goku. And you pretty much just plug all these pieces in there. I just went ahead and did it so I don't have to show these piece by piece. The paintwork on this is very, very clean. The center piece is like a silver color, and then on the effect part, you can see it slowly transitioning from silver to this like light blue and more of a turquoise color. But this looks very, very nice, painted very clean, and so great job on Demoniacal Fit's part when it comes to this. I really like this a lot. Now, the last thing that you get with this guy is a Dragon Ball stand, and it's stuff like this that will sell me. As you guys can see, it's translucent, but it has the 5-star Dragon Ball on it, and I think this just looks clean. When you get stuff like this with Dragon Ball figures, it really makes me want to purchase them, and that's exactly why I'm going to get my hands on some of the upcoming event exclusives. But I really like this. The fact that they threw this in, that's very, very cool. I think it was smart of them to do, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that would buy this figure just for the stand. And also, the clamp and everything is very, very sturdy. It does hold the figure. It's not fragile or anything. I've actually had him sitting on it for a couple of days, and so it works just fine. It supports his weight no matter what pose you have him in. So great job. I think this was awesome to include. So now moving on to what I know most people probably want to see, and that's going to be the head swaps. Now, normally I'll probably do 3 or 4 of these, but at this point, all of the Gokus have been the exact same neck peg ever since the very first release. So I feel like it's no point. If one head fits on this body, then all of them are going to fit. Now, of course, during the photos at the end, I will show some pictures of some other head sculpts on this body. But for the sake of the review and getting this over with, I'm just going to show you guys one. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys before I swap these 2 heads out is what I deem probably to be the most important thing. Let's see. As you guys can see, the ball on the neck peg of this one is a little bit bigger than the one on the Demoniacal Fit. So I'm sure you guys can guess what that means, but I'll show it anyway. It means once you put any head on this body, it'll go on, no problem, but it is just going to kind of flail around simply because it's not a snug fit. It just kind of sits on the ball, and you can get all the expression and everything out of it. You can get the tilt, the turn, the look up, the look down. That's not going to be a problem, but in terms of it just sitting still, it's not going to happen. And then, of course, if you do too much, it will fall off. Now, for the people that want to know about the Demoniacal Fit products as well, this is the Demoniacal Fit Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, or Super Saiyan God Goku, not SSGSS. But this is the Demoniacal Fit version. These are actually made to fit the authentic releases, because if you pop this on here, or if you try to pop this on here, first of all, it looks very weird. Actually, that's because it didn't go in there. Let's see. Pop that on there. It's not going to sit. It's the same thing. It's just going to flail around. So that would probably be my only gripe with this figure. I really wish they would up these small ball pegs. It seems like they do that with every figure they release, that they create, basically. I really wish they would up that. If they would up that neck peg, then I feel like it would just take their figures to a whole nother level. Now, that being said, you can, if you put this in hot water and you get some pliers, you can swap this out, no problem, if you just want to put a different head on this body. But I think a lot of people are buying this figure because they like the head sculpt. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show that off and explain that to you guys. Moving right along. Now, moving on to the size comparisons, I'm going to keep it very brief. First off, we do have him standing next to the SH Figuarts 2.0 Dragon Ball Super Broly Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku, the SH Figuarts Full Power Super Saiyan Goku, which just released, and of course the Kong Studios Whis Goku, and I believe this is the counter to them releasing this, which is why this figure is probably called Counterattack K. Yeah, I saw through that. I caught y'all, Demoniacal Fit. Next up, here he is standing next to the Dragon Ball Super Broly, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. And for the people who wanted to know if the hair sculpts or mostly the paint is going to match in terms of the Super Saiyan Blues, just in case you want to wedge these two in photos together, it's not. Vegeta's is a tad bit darker, but they still look really good next to each other. But also, we do have the SH Figuarts Jiren right next to him. And then on the far end, we do have the SH Figuarts 2.0 Proud Namekian Warrior Piccolo. Lastly, for some extras, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Gamerverse PS4 Spider-Man, the Mafex or Metacom Toys Batman Hush Superman, and the SH Figuarts Street Fighter V Ryu. Now, for my people who are new, we're going to want to see this. Here he is standing next to the Kong Studio version, which released a couple of months ago. Once again, I did review this, so if you want to see an in-depth look, feel free to go check that out. But standing these two side by side, differences are clearly night and day. When it comes to the hair sculpt, I'm not going to say, again, which of these is better because it really depends on preference. So if you like the Kong Studios hair sculpt better, then obviously that's up to you. But in terms of the rest, I don't know. There are things that I think Demoniacal Fit did better, but there are also things that I feel like Kong did better. I will do a who did it better video if you guys want to see that. But I will say that I like the lighting, the light color on the Kong Studio version better, but the details in the Demoniacal Fit are just outrageous, man. There's a whole lot more detail to this one. I like the arms better on the Kong Studio version just because there's actual shading in the arms. I don't know if you guys can see that on video, but that I feel like the paint and everything on this guy, for the most part in certain areas, is just great. But this one right here, this one has the shading and the gi. Once again, the faceplates just make it complete night and day. It's almost like you're looking at a bootleg version of the Demoniacal Fit. But once again, this is Kong Studios. This is the first time they really started dipping their toes in the water into making figures. So I'm not going to fault them. Demoniacal Fit has been doing this for a little while. So yeah, the faces are going to be a little bit better on their figures. But who knows? Kong Studio might continue to knock it out of the park in the future. But that being said, when it comes to the head sculpts, no matter which one of these you get, you can always put a regular Goku head sculpt on both bodies. So if you have a Tamashii Nation Super Saiyan Blue, you can put it on either of these. And I'll show some head swaps with this one later because this is his review. But yeah, the main difference, and this is where I think that Demoniacal Fit really takes it, is the chest area. As you guys can see, this one right here is kind of soft. Looks like it's missing a little bit of detail. Like they just, I don't know, they didn't sculpt certain parts of it. It's here on this guy, and all of the paint match. Everything on this guy really matches, whereas on this one, the arms are like a different color, like a different skin tone color than this right here, obviously because this is molded, and then the face is completely different. And so I do feel like Kong Studios needs to work on their paint a little bit, but there is a slightly in-depth comparison. Also, one thing I want to get, the gloves or the gauntlets on this one are a lighter blue, which I like. This is the darker blue. And then on the boots, these are a lighter blue. These are the darker blue. And I don't know. I think I want to try to, I don't know if I can do that, but it'd be dope if I could part swap on these. Because once again, there's things about this one I like better, and then there's things about this one I like better. So if you guys do want to see a Who Did It Better video, feel free to let me know, and I will make that. Now, I feel like it's pointless for me to even have to explain why this one is better than the SH Figuarts version, or why I would recommend this one over the SH Figuarts version, simply because, I mean, you guys see it. It basically comes with updated faceplates, a much better Super Saiyan Blue hair sculpt, and it has the 2.0 body. And those things right there, I feel like would make this figure fit into your collection even better, especially if you're caught up with the Dragon Ball line and you see what they're doing with all of these new figures. Why wouldn't you want to have an updated version of this gi for Goku if you do like this costume? Now, I also want to say I don't really see Tamashii Nations revisiting this one simply because, I mean, Resurrection F is over. I don't really see Goku throwing this gi on again. Who knows? It might happen, and it just might not, because the Dragon Ball costume changes very, very rarely happen unless you're watching Dragon Ball Heroes. And I mean, right now, only third-party companies are making costumes from Dragon Ball Heroes, so you really just don't know. That being said, though, I really enjoy this figure. This is one that I had a lot of fun with. Companies are killing me with the Gokus, though. I really hope that they put out a Resurrection F 2.0 Vegeta. I hope someone does that. Demoniacal fit, that would be great, because you guys did a superb job with this guy. The only thing I would change about this figure, this is my only gripe, I really wish they would go with the Tamashii Nations type ball peg. The ball peg in the neck is just way too small, and so it makes head swapping with these figures a pain. And I mean, I get it, it's not, it costs money, and I don't know anything about the cost of swapping out the pegs, but I really do feel like the more the quality is upped on these, the more people will continue to buy them. But I don't think this figure will be a problem. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to get their hands on it. Once again, I am going to leave the link in the description below, so if you're planning on picking it up, feel free to follow that link to Omnime Store, and they will take care of you. Once again, big shout out to Omnime Store for sending me this sample to review. I really appreciate you guys. Guys, go check out Omnime Store if you haven't already. Please go check them out. They're very responsive. They have very fast shipping, and they have fair prices. I have loved dealing with these guys for as long as I've dealt with them. So please go check them out. But that being said, that is my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to follow my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Bye.